I ordered these Samsung AKG Tuned earphones, and without any surprise, these are all fakes. But these are very good fakes. In isolation, it would be difficult for people to spot the difference. And this was evident from the plethora of messages that I got, where people said that the AKG earphones they bought online just fell apart, or that it sounds like a tractor engine. While I personally do not think that these AKG tuned earphones are the best earphones in existence, but they are manufactured to meet a set of standards. Good, bad, love it, hate it, whatever. You are allowed to have your opinion, but as a product, they are warranted by Samsung, and Samsung will not allow their name to be dragged through the mud over something this small. After all, to make a name for itself was the reason why Samsung acquired AKG to tune its earphones, so that it would add value to their top-tier phones. Tuned, not made. Why is the word tuned used? History alert. In 2017, when Samsung announced that they will include the AKG tuned earphones with their S8 series phones, the original AKG factory in Vienna at the time was operational. People naturally got the impression that these earphones will be made there, but instead they started manufacturing them in China. Not only that, in the same year the AKG factory in Vienna was closed. Hence the air of controversy. Mind you, having a half-decent earphone was still better than really poor quality stuff that some other manufacturers used, or worst, doesn't even bother to include at all. Some of the AKG earphones may have been made in China at some stage, though newer ones are made in Vietnam. Now, all this effort that Samsung spent does have an effect. In economic terms, the perceived value of their top-tier phones got bolstered. Mid-range, not so much, as those phones still get the generic stuff. Smart ploy if you ask me. As with anything, people who use it also lose it from time to time. Things happen. So they look for a replacement. Not just any earphones will do, but only the one and the same. Samsung sells these on their website from time to time for about $60. Ka-ching! Dollar bills. $60. It is absolutely not worth $60. And people share the same sentiment, and they look elsewhere. And the internet is crawling with these so-called genuine Samsung AKG earphones for around $10. Some copies are blatantly fake. Like this, for example, does not even have a logo. However, the units I received are good efforts at taking the earphones as close to the real thing as possible, but of course fails. Side note, I'll be keeping the originals on the right side while comparing, just to make it a little bit easier. Another side note, my second channel is called Property Technical, and it is very different to this channel. Link in the description. I hope you check it out. There are two variants of fakes out there. One that is trying to copy the older S8, S9 series earphones, or the original release, and the other is the white ones that are distributed with the S10 and S20, or the revised version. Both have the same model number of IG955. If you look at the original earphones in bright light, they are not exactly black, but a shade of dark blue. The copy just goes for black and grey sort of look. Not quite the same. The other very obvious giveaway is the logo. That part of the earphone in the original is smooth with glossy edge that makes it look like it's made of aluminum. The fake is nowhere near this finish. Next thing you might also find is that the fakes have a very tiny holes for mic, whereas the original have about 1 millimeter for mic hole. Next, the one thing that the fakes just can't seem to get right is the jack. The metal part of the jack has a little flange, which the original has completely flush. I have not seen any fake get this detail right. Also, where the cable separates into right and left, the fakes may say China, which is fake, blank, straight up fake. All of the Samsung earphones that I have in my possession, including the older models and the IG935, all says Vietnam. One of the fake I have does say Vietnam as well. Mate, it's still fake. Now let's look at some other minor stuff that are wrong with the fakes. Starting with the packaging, the original that I have here comes out of a S10 5G which had white wrapper, though the S10 Plus had black wrapper, so either is fine. Samsung did both, except the paper quality the fakes come in is atrocious. They just fall apart in my hand, and you can see the cheap glue they used. The one that came in this green box had spelling mistakes. Also, in general sense, you will find other quality issues like ripped ear tips out of the box, poor cable insulation that creases at the fold, buttons in the mic practically falling out, etc. There are other differences that are harder to tell, like sound is inferior, but someone who does not have the original to compare with could only suspect but not confirm. The cable braiding is poorer in fake, but is amazing how close they came. While they got pretty close, looks-wise, they don't feel the same. The cable is much softer in original as well as the ear tips, so the originals are more comfortable to use. Then there are the defects. One of the earpiece had cracked casing, so mere press on the sides made them crumble apart. One of the earphone had defective jack, so it crackled if I moved the phone. The cable is about to rip out of the remote in one of them, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Up until this point, I think I've made the point that you cannot buy original AKG tuned Samsung earphones online for about $10 or $15. Instead, perhaps consider something else. If I may recommend, try the Sony MDR EX15AP, nice and cheap at under $15. Or if it has to be Samsung, try the IG935 if you can find them. Point being, buy something that you have a better chance of getting the genuine item. There are things that you can buy that cost less, but need not be fake. If people stop buying fakes, they may stop trying to sell them. Well, that is all I had to say about the fake AKG earphones, and I sincerely hope that this video saved you from buying a fake set. If you have any experience with any of the fake AKG earphones, let me know. It would be interesting to hear your story. Also, please consider checking out my second channel. It is very different to this one. And if you aspire to becoming a tycoon yourself, perhaps some of those information could be of use to you. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself.